All right, so we got a banger Kelvin game. I'm running this new quote unquote Kelvin gun build, and it feels seriously so good. Honestly, borderline overpowered. I'm duoing with this guy here, this Vindicta Typhton, and it for some reason threw us both in separate duo lanes, but we decided to just stick it out, and ended up working out pretty well for me. This guy, I don't know, we seem to just kind of roll this lane. You'll see right here. Kelvin is such an oppressive laner. And so is Wraith. So you put them together, they're kind of broken. It's actually, this is probably one of the best lanes in the game, just for like getting ahead early, because Kelvin's beam is probably the best level 1 ability in the game. And yeah, it just feels super strong. But yeah, this Kelvin build, ever since they buffed all the gun stuff, has just been so overpowered, because Kelvin's gun base damage does like 21 a bullet, which is insane. For reference, I think Hayes does like 4 or 5 or something like that, or like 4. So it's a lot of damage, and his nade is really good poke. You know, here I use my Arctic Beam to just freeze both of them so they can't run away. We get a kill on the Hayes because my Wraith is going in with me, throwing her cards, and then we either get this Shiv to back or we kill him. I think he has to back here. And we get a ton of free souls, we deny them a bunch of souls, and we get a bunch of damage on the objective, which is just huge. Gives us early lane presence, and honestly, the more and more I play this, the more important lane phase feels. Because if you can not only get ahead, but deny the people from getting souls, you put them at a huge disadvantage for the rest of the game. And it basically, that's how you get fed in this game, is winning lane with the souls. It's not really kills that matter. Kills help you because they spend less time in lane, but kills really don't give you that many souls early game. It's clearing the wave and getting that early lead on the souls. You get more money, which is more items, and you're just stronger. You can roam, especially in Kelvin. Kelvin's roaming potential is really, really strong. I actually kind of mess up this game. I'm ahead in lane, and by the time I leave and go farm a bit, my team and the rest of the lobby kind of catches up with me, but my Wraith stays ahead, and that allows me to regain my lead, and by the end of the game, I'm quite ahead of the rest of the other team. So here, I know Hayes is low, so I decided to focus on Shiv, because Hayes is either going to have to back, or she's just going to die, and my beam doesn't reach that far. I didn't want to cancel it. I want to get my full value from my beam. So I might go 2x here. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2x. Alright, so we're back. I had some technical difficulties. So yeah, here, I think Shiv is low. Yeah, so I'm just focusing objective damage, because the sooner I get this Guardian down, one, the more gold I'm gonna get, more souls I'm gonna get, the more presence I'm gonna be able to have on the map, because my waves are gonna be pushed closer to the walker, and objectives are the most important thing in this game, next to souls obviously, but the reason you want lots of souls is to get objectives. Here, Shiv kind of gets caught, so I hit him with my Arctic Beam into my nade. He can't really do anything there. He can't face tank me, he's just gonna die. And then I think Hayes here also dies. She sleeps me, but my Wraith's on that. So she has to back up. She's basically one shot. And then yeah, we decided to take tower here, and that's a 4-minute Guardian, which is, I think, a really good time to get Guardian. If you can get Guardian free 5 minutes, that's like a huge advantage, especially because our Guardian hasn't been hit at all. We have so much pressure on the map now, seeing how small this map is. On Kelvin, you can just perma roam, and you know, there's some debate whether roaming is really good right now or not, but I think for the most part, if you're roaming to take objectives and help your teammates get ahead in lane, it's still pretty good. You do lose souls because of the soul sharing changes, so now if I were to go into Bebop's lane, we would only be getting 50% souls as opposed to 100, because it's a duo lane, right? Or it's a solo lane. So it's not the best, but if we can get a kill and then Bebop gets a Guardian out of it, that's pretty big. And then he'll get free farm, whatever. It helps. You have to do it a little differently. I don't know if I agree with the changes fully. They're better than the last changes, but still it's a little weird, because it kind of promotes you just camping your lane the whole time, which is kind of what I do. Here I get a little overconfident. I dome. I did not know Hayes was there. I thought it was just gonna be Shiv. I didn't think Hayes was gonna be a good teammate and help the Shiv there, but you know, she did, and I got punished for it. I did almost kill both of them though, so it kind of gave me some confidence, even though I died, to see how much damage I'm doing. But yeah, I should have put the build up already, but it's basically I'm just running Lystic's gun Kelvin build. It is so good. He does so much damage. His gun scales so well with bullet damage. And he, you know, when you first see Kelvin's kit, you think like, oh, he's going to be a support character. You know, he's got a dome for your team. He's got heal nades for your team. He's got the ice beam, which can slow and get kills for your team. He's got the ice path, which your teammates can use. But the more you get used to his kit, you realize he's just got like the best kit for 1v1ing and getting kills. He's got the best roam in the game, pretty much with his 2 next to Haze. His nade does a ton of damage and can heal you. And your dome is probably the best 1v1 ult in the game. You can just pop it and you're basically guaranteed to win a 1v1 against any character other than an Infernus. Because Infernus heals so much that it kind of negates how much you're healing in a way. So here, this is kind of what I was saying. I kind of messed up after I got my lead in lane and I didn't farm properly. So the lobby ended up getting like pretty close to me. I didn't play my lead perfectly in the early mid game. You know, I help my teammate get a Guardian here, which is good. All of our souls got denied. I should have shot them. Here, I go to gank, and I think I dome here on top of the Infernus. And you'll see what I mean. I think I do get the kill here. My aim kind of terrible. Yeah, he almost gets away, but there we go. And then I make a mistake of getting a little too overzealous going in here with my Abrams, which was kind of a mistake. I get hit by the bird, and then I still keep going. And that McGinnis was not as low as I thought she would be, so I get punished for it. So here I realize, like, you know, my Wraith is using her lead properly. She has 7k. She's played her lane lead really well, and then I look and I have 5k, and the rest of my team is either even with me or ahead, which is not ideal, seeing as how hard I rolled in lane. The rest of my team did not. And then on the other team, you also see that they're all even or ahead, and that's where I made the mistake here. I should have been farming earlier and only going to fights that were 100% helpful, where I'd for sure get an objective. I was kind of running around just not knowing what I was doing, so I decided to start farming here and only going to fights that I know are useful or I'm going to make a huge impact on. And if they're close, I'm not going to run halfway across the map, wasting time for a fight that's not guaranteed, right? It's just more worth for me to keep farming, keep my farm up, especially early game when really people aren't going to be taking anything super important. Yeah, it's nice to keep Guardians, but if you're gonna go defend a Guardian that's across the map and you're gonna waste all the time getting there just to scare one person away, you could have that's 1,000+ souls you could have got farming camps or farming waves. So it's important to pick when to farm, when to go for fights, and I'm still not good at the best at it, but it's definitely one of the biggest, most important things is knowing that balance. Here my team wins a fight, which is huge. And then I see Haze going to take our Guardian, and I make a mistake here because... Oh, I don't make a mistake here. I thought she would have got it already. But no, we prevent her from getting the Guardian, so this is a good play here. Preventing the Guardians, if you can prevent Guardians without, like, perma-defending them, it's huge. Because if you can be doing other stuff, like farming, and still preventing them from defending your Guardians with like good rotations, it's huge because it denies that flex spot where I think it's all Guardians is like the first flex spot, and if you can deny that one, it's very hard for them to get a flex spot for a while because 2 walkers is also really hard, and if you can prevent that first Guardian for a while, it also prevents them from getting the flex spot for the walkers because they're going to be behind. So here I get a walker. We're already up 3 walkers, I think. No, I don't. It just showed me a flex slot. I don't know what that was for, but yeah. So I get a walker there, and then I also get a walker here. So I just like that's huge objective presence from me and my team. We just got 2 walkers for basically free, and that's from me and Wraith's lead and the rest of my team's lead. We were able to convert that into objectives, which further pushes our lead. Ivy, comes here. I don't know what she was doing. She backs off. Here, I think I just do my 2-3s. Knowing when your power spikes are, when you can do the harder camps fast enough to where you're actually getting worth out of it is important. You kind of just learn as you play your character. I see my teammates fighting the Infernus there, but it's a 4v1. I don't need to go. So I decided to try and get some more objective from it. I know no one can 1v1 me right now, so I'm kind of using that offensive pressure to take Guardians, or take Walkers. I see a lot of people, even on my teams, where they'll get ahead and there'll be a very powerful, like, presence on the map, like they'll always be pulling 2 people, and they don't do anything with it. If you're strong enough to 1v1 anyone on the map, you should be pushing for objectives, because that's how you help your team stay ahead in the game, and like the goal's to get to the end, so you need to take objectives. See, a lot of people get a lead and all they do is farm. It's important to keep farming, but you want to balance your farming with roaming for kills, taking objectives. All that stuff's important. Perma farming doesn't mean anything. Like, having your soul lead doesn't mean anything if you're not doing anything with it. If all you're doing is farming, you're not helping your team. So you have to balance the farm, balance the fighting, balance the objectives. It's all about balance, you know. You have to make the right decisions, and again, I'm working on that. I'm not the best at it. Right now, I don't see anything really happening on the map, so I'm farming, I'm clearing my camps. Saw McGinnis near me, so I saw that as a good fight to take. Here, I could have chased this haze, but I stay and clear the wave because that's more worth than just rushing for a kill that I might not even get. I see haze here. I was going to clear this because I saw it on the map, but it was already cleared, and saving that 1 minion prevents it from respawning. So I call to my teammate that haze is caught out, so we go on her, and it's a free kill. And here we just clear the wave, and I think I just go, yeah, I just clear more camps, because also another good way to stay ahead is if you're ahead and you're able to farm your enemies' jungle camps, that's a huge thing, because then they only really have waves to get money from, because they're already behind, so they're not going to be getting too many kills, so they're not going to be getting souls from kills. If you're behind, it's a lot harder to run earn, because a team that's ahead usually gets earn prio, because it's just easier for them to run earn, because they can win the team fights. And that's, yeah, like, and they don't have a jungle, so they can't get souls from the jungle, so the only way they can get souls between 6 people is 4 lanes of mini creeps, and even then, your team's probably going to be in the waves too, so it's going to be hard for them to confirm the wave souls as well. So taking the jungle, which is normally their safest way of farming, eliminating that option for them is a very, very good way to stay ahead and prevent them from coming back. It's a huge thing, and if you watch like high level players play, like it's one of the biggest things they do is when it's safe, they'll calm to their team like, yo, let's take their jungle here, and it helps them stay ahead, and that's a huge thing with the lead, because again, that's something I see a lot is team will get like a 20k soul lead and not do these things to keep that lead, and they end up losing the game, right? Because once the soul lead gets within 5k, it's kind of useless. Like, it's not really, that's one fight, and you're close enough in power that you can just close that gap. Here, this McGinnis gets caught out, just overextending. She actually was, I think she did get Walker, or she was close to getting Walker. McGinnis was doing it kind of right. Their team's so behind that split pushing is kind of tough, but McGinnis split pushing is always going to be drawing attention away from the rest of her team, and if we don't go to her, if we just slip up once, that's a free Walker for her. She can kill those things so quick, so she's definitely the biggest threat on their team right now. So yeah, again, I'm just farming when I can, keeping my lead up. There's no fights on the map here. My Abrams is kind of diving, but I'm not going to leave to go help him because, one, he's overextended, and then he realizes that and backs off here, which is perfect. But even if he went in and took the fight, I'm not going to leave my farm to go help him because that's just silly, you know? He looked at his map, he saw that no one was there, and he made the right call to back off. And if he didn't make the right call, I'm not going to be there to, you know, die with him. So I see Abrams, Wraith, and Bebop taking a 3v3. So I decided to clear this wave because I don't want to ignore the wave. This is free gold. And I see that it's like a decently good fight because I can hit the shop here by my 6200, which is, I think it's glass cannon because I'm ahead. Yeah, I'm ahead, so I buy glass cannon. Should be a really good snowball item. My team ults someone, which is, I think, Talon or Pocket. Yeah, it was Talon. He's under there. I somehow get an assist on that. I'm not really sure how. And then, yeah, Haze ults here, but doesn't really matter. My aim's kind of trash, so I'm missing on the Ivy. But Abrams hits a really good stun, so that's 2. Sadly, I didn't get either of those 2 kills, which would have helped with my glass cannon stacks, but that's fine. We're already so ahead. We're getting a shrine at 20 minutes, which is pretty good. It's not like the quickest ever. We could have definitely done it faster if we were maybe trying to look for mid boss, but you know, that can be bad too. Here, I don't want this McGinnis getting a shrine because that's a flex slot for them. This would have been a lot better if Lash didn't come as well, because I could for sure kill McGinnis one-on-one, and it would have been fine, but Lash coming isn't like the worst thing ever. I almost died of the turret, actually. My team's still fighting. I don't know what's going on in my head right now. I think I'm hoping my team's gonna back off, and I think they do, because it's for sure an overstay. And the last thing you want to do is force a 3v6, even if you're ahead. That's still not a favorable fight, and it just allows them to kind of get back into the game with all the souls they're gonna get from your bags and killing you. So here I just gotta go to farming. 2 of my teammates have died, but not the end of the world. There's nothing for me to go do over there. I'm not gonna dive in 1v4. So here you can actually see that the McGinnis on the other team pings mid. I don't know this, but this ends up being a really bad call for them. They force mid while behind, while 5 of us are up, and I'm Kelvin. Like a fed Kelvin, I'm gonna just dome, which I think freezes the rejuvenator now, so no one can hit it. You'll see right here. It ends up being really bad for them. So I go in, I see that they're doing mid boss, I hit the nade, I go here, help with Talon, and then I just jump on this thing, dome 2 of them, which freezes the rejuvenator from falling, and I have Ivy and McGinnis in here. McGinnis falls, and I do die, but my team cleans up. And it was actually kind of funny. I wish you could hear comms still, but after this play, we end up getting rejuve, so well, I can... Well, they're all dead. I was going to switch to my team, but yeah, my team cleans up, and it's funny. We get rejuve, and then my teammate was like, damn, they're Kelvin fucked up. Doming, which is hilarious because I'm on our team. I'm the Kelvin, and he had no idea that I was on his team that whole time. But yeah, so I think we're just gonna like end. Rejuve, we're up 40k. It's basically unlosable. Like you should end at this point. Again, I see a lot of people where they'd be in this situation and they just wouldn't end for some reason. It's a weird thing that happens in this game. People just don't know how to end. It's the same thing that happens in any MOBA though. But yeah, McGinnis gets ulted by Lash, so I finish her off. And then yeah, we're basically just playing for picks that we know we can get. I dome Ivy and Infernus, and then Infernus goes down, and Ivy's right after. And that's game. That's it. So yeah, definitely try this build out before it gets nerfed, because it's kind of broken. Yeah, here's the stats for that game. As you can see, I had 34k souls, most in the lobby, 10 kills, most in the lobby. I had 3 deaths, which I mean, I probably could have not died if I wasn't being an idiot, but I did. 12 assists, so I had my kill participation was really high that game, so I was in, making an impact in all the fights. I had the most player damage in the lobby, and I also had the most objective damage in the lobby. This, in my opinion, right here, is if you want to tell if you made an impact, these 2 are probably the most important. Souls are nice, but if you have this, but then none of the other badges, probably we're doing something wrong. You're probably over farming. Kills and assists are, whatever, as long as you're not insanely behind your team in kills and assists, it really don't matter, because a good team is going to have similar kill participation just across the board. That's it. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and yeah, have a great day.